Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to another video. On today's video, guys, we're going to be looking at Hansi Flick's words ahead of Barcelona's match against Osasuna. Barcelona back into the swing of things. Barcelona right now have such a busy schedule that the matches are coming very, very fast. And thus Barcelona, we're back into the swing of things, back into La Liga after what was a very difficult away match at Benfica. We're going to be looking at Hansi Flick's words, but then as well talking about some transfer news in regards to Szczęsny, Iñaki Peña, and Barcelona's search for a right back. We're going to be talking about all that on the channel. But guys, before I get started on the video, make sure to follow me on all of my social media platforms. Everything is posted down below in the description. Go over there and check me out. That way you guys stay up to date with everything that I do on the channel. But guys, let's get started with the video. All right, guys, let's get started with the video and let's look at the words of Hansi Flick ahead of Barcelona's match tomorrow against Osasuna. Now, Barcelona, they are going to be playing at home. We played in the reverse fixture against Osasuna where we did lose 4-2. That was the day where Hansi Flick, he did rotate very heavily in the away match and we did lose. And Hansi Flick, he starts off by his press conference by saying, we have a clear idea of how we want to play. We've analyzed the team and Barca B. There is a clear connection with Deco and the club. The atmosphere in the dressing room is special. Everyone is attentive to each other and everyone feels important. It's fantastic. It's always easier when you win, but this is the way to manage it. He talks about his worst and best time at Barca. He says, it's a difficult question. I don't have much time to think about it. I don't want to. In regards to that, it's relatively early in his Barcelona career. He's only been, here since last summer, roughly what? 9 months, something like that. Hasn't even been a full year, maybe even less. And so that question, obviously, maybe the month of October would have been best, but there's still a long way to go. He talks about that, the first time we played against Osasuna at the start of the season. He says it's very different. That was an away game with a lot of changes. Now we have another level in how the team plays. The important thing is to get the best team possible on the pitch. I'm positive for tomorrow's game. And obviously with that win against Benfica, in midweek, we are going to be going into this weekend's game against Osasuna with confidence. But due to the amount of effort that Barcelona they did put into that game, rotations, they are to be expected. And Hansi Flick, he does talk about that. But before we get there, Hansi Flick, he continues to talk about Szczęsny. It says, when you see the players in training, you get a feeling. We talk a lot with the staff about the players and what they can contribute. For me, it was clear that I could get here. I decided things, and I always want to know the opinion of others. And in regards to Szczęsny, guys, at the start of the season, Szczęsny was only expected here to be here for 1 year, fill in, the time that Ter Stegen wasn't going to be available due to that injury and just, be the backup to Iñaki Peña. But since then, Szczęsny has replaced Peña in the pecking order and his performances have been so fantastic that Barcelona, both Barcelona and Szczęsny, they are looking to renew him and for Szczęsny to be here for 1 more year. And, due to that, Barcelona, they are looking, for a renewal. But what does that mean for the future of Iñaki Peña? Because we do know that Iñaki Peña, his future is very uncertain. Clubs around Europe, they are keeping an eye on his situation, and one specific club being Galatasaray. But this report from Mundo Deportivo is saying that Iñaki Peña is currently not thinking about leaving Barcelona. Now, this is surprising because, the recent reports that I have been hearing were that Iñaki Peña, due to his situation, he was looking abroad. He was looking for an exit from the club. And, with Galatasaray coming in for him, this could be an option. But we're going to have to see how the season unfolds. But it's most likely going to happen that you're going to have Ter Stegen and Szczęsny being the two goalkeepers of Barcelona, and Iñaki Peña in the summer, he does leave. I think that's the most viable outcome and what's most likely going to happen. But returning to Hansi Flick's press conference, he talks about Pedri, who ran a lot in Barcelona's match against Benfica. He ran, I think, roughly 13 kilometers, something like that. And he would be my #1 player that Barcelona, they have to rest this weekend against Osasuna. When we talk about the lineup and, the players who could be rested, I think Pedri, a player who has been absolutely fantastic and pivotal for Barcelona's success so far this season, he is a player that Hansi Flick has to say, hey, you know what? He has to be rested. He gave so much to the team, and we need him fit and 100% fresh for that second leg at home. He talks about Pedri, and he says, we'll see tomorrow. He's very professional, and his attitude is incredible. He recovers well after games and trains at a high level. You can see it on the pitch. He plays the way he trains. He gives us a lot of strength in that position, but we have to think about the future. We'll decide tomorrow. And when we talk about that lineup, guys, we know that Pau Cuerci is going to play. We know that Dani Olmo is going to play. But what happens to the base of the midfield? Do you play Gavi? Do you play Marc Casado? Do you rest both Pedri and Frankie de Jong? I think that's the best option. You know, you rest both Pedri and Frankie de Jong, who ran a lot in Barcelona's match against Benfica. I would also rest Alejandro Balde. Alejandro Balde, a player who did pick up silver knock against Benfica and, has been, forced to defend a lot in that match. You can see Gerard Martin start in this area. And so for that back line, you're seeing most likely a back line of Gerard Martin, Eric Garcia, Pau Cuerci, and Jules Koundé. In the midfield, maybe Gavi and Marc Casado partnership. And up top, is Rafinha going to be rested, or is Robert Lewandowski going to be rested? Rafinha, a player who gives so much, input and output on that left-hand side. I think he could be one of the options. But we'll see what Hansi Flick does, Hansi Flick, he continues to talk about Szczęsny. He says it's his job. He helped us a lot, and that's why he's the number one goalkeeper. Praising praising Szczęsny right there for his performance. Hansi Flick, he talks about the effort from the team against Benfica. He says, I'm very proud because the team has responded well to every situation. It gives us confidence in our idea. It's working well, and hopefully we can maintain it in the coming weeks. He talks about the possible rotations for tomorrow's game, which is very, very likely. He says, we haven't decided yet, but we have to rotate. We will put the best team on the field tomorrow. We have managed it well, and we will do it again tomorrow. He talks about Osasuna as an opponent. He says it's a tough game, as I always say. When we played there, they pressed us very well, and we had problems. Tomorrow is a different game, and we will be ready. And in regards to Osasuna, guys, they are not having, the best form as of right now. They haven't won a game in the last 5. They've had 3 draws against Valencia, against Real Madrid, and against Mallorca. And, they have picked up 2 losses against both Celta Vigo and Real Sociedad. And some stats to keep in mind is that they have scored in the last 5 matches, but they haven't kept a clean sheet in the last 12. And so that is a little bit disappointing if you're looking at it from an Osasuna standpoint. And with them not being able to win a match in the last 5, that does give a boost to Barcelona. And so looking at tomorrow's lineup, guys, what changes would you guys make? What players would you guys be looking to have out there on the field? Osasuna, a very difficult opponent, but an opponent who Barcelona, I feel, are going to be confident in beating, especially with a rotated team. And now moving on, guys, I wanted to talk about briefly about Dani Olmo and Pau Victor. And now this is something that I do want to remind you guys. But Barcelona, they are awaiting a decision from the CSD, the Higher Sports Council, regarding the Dani Olmo and Pau Victor registration. As you guys remember, Barcelona, they did send an appeal for him, and the CSD, they had 3 months to resolve that appeal. And the Barcelona sent it at the start of January, which allowed both Pau Victor and Dani Olmo to be registered. You had the whole debacle of Tebas trying to, unregister them and saying, hey, that appeal isn't valid. But right now, there are 23 days left for a decision to be reached. If the CSD does reject that appeal, Barcelona, they can seek precautionary measures from the administration litigation court litigation in order to allow both the players to compete. And so I will be making sure to keep you guys updated, but just giving you guys an update, there's roughly 23 days left for the CSD to make a final resolution in regards to whether they are going to be able to play for the rest of the season. But things are looking positive, things are looking positive. And, the last piece of news I do want to talk to you guys about is in regards to Jules Koundé and that right back position, because we do know that Barcelona, they are looking to renew Jules Koundé. But one thing that Barcelona, they are doing, according to Fabrizio Romano, is that they are also internally seriously discussing the possibilities of bringing in a new right back in this summer transfer window. Now, Jules Koundé has been absolutely rock solid in that right back position, but with potential exit coming in the center back position, you're maybe looking at Eric Garcia, you're looking potentially at Andrew Christensen, potentially maybe even looking at maybe an Araujo if something crazy happens. Jules Koundé would be forced to come back and play in his natural position, which is in that center back role. And Barcelona, they would be looking for right backs in the market. But on top of that, maybe Hansi Flick not trusting that much into Hector Ford also plays a role in the situation. I think Hector Ford has done a very good job in the minutes that he has, been given. But Barcelona looking for a right back, I think that is a good move. But let's see what options they are available. Because right now in the market, I wouldn't say necessarily that there are any right backs I say, hey, Barcelona should definitely go after him. I don't know. This is something for, the scouting department to do. And, whenever that news comes across, I will be making sure to keep you guys updated. But, guys, I want to know your guys' feelings and sensations ahead of Barcelona's match tomorrow against Osasuna. How are you guys feeling? What are your score predictions? What type of lineup would you guys want to see? What rotations would you make? I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. And what do you guys make of Barcelona looking to renew Szczęsny? And what do you guys make of Iñaki Peña? Future a little bit uncertain. Clubs from Europe are interested in the goalkeeper. What would you guys think is going to happen to him? And lastly, any right back names that catch your eye that you would want to see at Barcelona. But guys, that was it for the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, guys.